Now at 11, a big rig wrecks and then bursts into a ball of fire.
We are live once again back up here on the deck, and the good news is traffic is moving rather slowly. Still some backups. There is one lane as we swing around. This cell phone video shows the fiery explosion on I-64 around 6:30 Thursday night.
Oh man, I was hoping he was all right.
Holy crap, it was probably the scariest moment of my life.
Caitlin Eagle and Kevin Hodge were right behind the truck.
My girlfriend and I were coming home from the mall, and we was coming around the curve behind us here.
The tractor trailer part started coming up off of the truck that flipped.
So look, he's about to wreck.
And he got out and kicked the windshield out.
I ran up, he was trying to get out and he couldn't get out, so I got running and kicked it. I broke the glass open, and when he started climbing out, I grabbed his hand and pulled him out.
The fire so hot
and melted parts of the truck into the roadway.
The culprit appears to be this blown out rear tire, which caused the driver's load of steel to shift, slamming him into the barrier wall, which acted like a giant can opener.
Like a knife, and cut the whole trailer, the center of it.
And also sliced the fuel tank open, which gave way to all that fire.
The guys did a really good job getting it knocked down pretty quick, but it was pretty bad when we arrived.
Charleston Fire Assistant Chief Alan Crago says he's impressed by what Eagle and Hodge did.
People drive by and take pictures, but not very few people will actually stop and help out.
This guy is lucky. He had a couple of angels on his side.
Yes, he was very lucky, very lucky.
The driver, luckier still, another good Samaritan, is a nurse at CAMC who patched the driver's leg up, his only injury, until the ambulance got there.
It could have been a lot worse with the amount of traffic this time of evening coming through here.
Boy, it sure could have been, and right now, here's the story. The heavy lifting is done. The truck's already pulled away. You can see what's left of the trailer laying right there. All they've got to do now that the steel load's been taken away, is just flip this thing back up on its side and get it towed away. We filled this mason jar, it's a quart mason jar, full of snow. We packed this thing, and after a couple of hours, we finally got it to melt, and it shows about 1.5 to 2 inches of water left over from all the snow that we put in there. President Obama weighing in on campaign politics and skewering several top Republicans at a news conference in Ethiopia today, where he dubbed their rhetoric as outrageous and sad.
These are our kids. It's not somebody else's kids. It's our kids.
Coming together to fight the drug abuse problem in the Mountain State and across the country. The proposed solutions and goals President Obama laid out in a discussion right here in Charleston.
A big day in the capital city today. Good evening. I'm Whitney Wetzel.
I'm Stefano dipietrantonio. Welcome to Eyewitness News at 5. Taking some steps to combat the massive drug epidemic plaguing West Virginia and our nation. President Obama making the trip here to Charleston to announce efforts to address the prescription drug and heroin abuse epidemic.
So this crisis is taking lives. It's destroying families.
That was the president speaking to a group at the Roosevelt Neighborhood Center over on Ruffner Avenue just a short time ago. Right now, we have team coverage. Eyewitness News reporters Bob Aaron and Taisha Walker, Leslie Rubin, all live on Charleston's East End with reaction to the president's plan.
Yeah, but first, let's go to Kenny Bass, who's live at the Roosevelt Center now. Of course, a lot of people inside the Roosevelt Center listening to President Obama speak about the state's drug epidemic.
Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Rubin, though, was live outside the Roosevelt Center. So, Leslie, did you even get a glimpse of the president? I know there was an army of security in tents as he came in.
Steph, there were a lot of security officers and there were a lot of people out here trying to get that glimpse of President Obama. I was lucky enough, I did get a glimpse of him. Reporting live in Charleston, Leslie Rubin, Eyewitness News.
Leslie, thanks. Good stuff there. President Obama may have his detractors here in the Mountain State, but earlier today, people came out in the street in support of the commander-in-chief, despite his stance on Big Coal.
Eyewitness News reporter Bob Aaron is on Washington Street right now, where supporters tried to get a look at the president earlier today.
Although the choice of the president's route left some disappointed.
Welcome back to Eyewitness News. A gorgeous sunny shot of the capital city now calming down after an exciting few hours having the President of the United States here in our fair city. Darrell Harris told me he didn't do it. I asked him 3 different times, was he the one who cut off his dog's paws Tuesday? He says he passed a lie detector test and has an ironclad alibi. The dog had to be put down, but there is a reward. And even he says he hopes they find whoever did this to their dog.
I'm the only suspect.
Terrell Harris says he passed his lie detector test.
They asked me if I was capable of hurting a person, if I was capable of hurting a dog.
You didn't do it.
That's obvious.
What's not obvious is how his dog Malachi, with no front paws, bleeding and most likely in shock, could climb up these stairs to their home.
Someone cut his legs off.
But how could a dog with his legs cut off get up over these cinder blocks, up these steps? I'm baffled.
He did.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you when all this went down?
Playing a video game, like always. That's what I do. I sit in my house.
Don't you think somebody would have heard that dog screaming if somebody was trying to cut its paws off?
Yes. That's correct.
So even playing a video game, don't you think you might have heard that dog whining and crying?
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of people who we've considered persons of interest. There are a lot of things that don't seem to add up, some inconsistencies.
Kanawha County deputies have been back to the home several times, the couple told us, but so far, no movement in the case. We do know, according to vets, this was no accident.
There was some examination done at the veterinarian's office, and a conclusion was reached by several people that their inclination was this was used, a cutting tool of some sort was used. So we're operating off of that assumption.
He walked in with his legs cut off.
But you didn't do it?
Correct.
So who do you think did? Are you afraid for yourself that there's somebody in the neighborhood that was cruel enough to cut the legs off a dog? What if they tried to do it to you?
I am scared. There's a psycho running around. A psycho.
Now, the neighbors who have several small kids next door told me they're scared. And they're counting down the final 9 days left, they told me, until the couple's forced to vacate their home. They were evicted the day after our initial story aired.
Next at 11, a story you will only see here. A little boy with a life-threatening disease gets the surprise of his life tonight.
Eyewitness News anchor Stefano dipietrantonio here with the story. And Steph, how's he doing after that big day?
Rick and Callie, I bet this guy is wiped out, but he's awesome. 2-year-old Wyatt Carpenter trying to beat leukemia for a third time. He's been sick almost as long as he's been alive, but tonight he forgot all about that when nearly 60 Harleys came rolling up on the hospital. A sea of chrome and leather, bound for Women and Children's Hospital, where 2-year-old Wyatt Carpenter cries, "More chocolate milk, Mom," not knowing a surprise is minutes away. He's battling AML, or acute myeloid leukemia.
It's horrible to watch, and you can't do anything about it.
More than half of his young life,
yeah.
He's been battling this deadly disease.
Yes, and now this is our last chance.
Wyatt's mom, Sarah Meadows, says his cancer is so aggressive, he has less than 5% chance to make it. But he's already beaten it twice.
We've been told 3 times, I think, that there was nothing they could do for him in the last 2 weeks.
They've started a new kind of chemo treatment 3 days ago. It's their last chance.
If it works, then they'll do a bone marrow transplant with my bone marrow, but basically he can die on me at any second.
Knowing this, Brothers of the Wheel and several other area riding clubs got together to make Wyatt's wish to ride a Harley come true.
He's an amazing little boy. He really is. There's so much fight in him. No matter how bad he's feeling, you can get a smile out of him.
Nurses rolled him out in a red wagon.
You want a real motorcycle, baby? Listen to that.
And not just one bike, several.
Oh, Bubby, I wish you could ride. I'm sorry.
He wanted to ride them all, and wearing this custom vest Joyride Leathers of Marmette made for him.
Pray for little Wyatt.
They pray for the family who's already weathered 2 near misses.
You feel good that you're going to pass this one too?
Yeah, he's going to come through it. Yep, got hope.
They're so proud of their son and this ride of his life.
He remembers everything, though.
We sure won't forget it.
Nope, he's going to beat it.
He's got to.
Now, Wyatt is clinging to life tonight. Seriously, his parents told me they don't know minute to minute, even day to day, how long he can continue to fight. But they are grateful he's doing it, and their every prayer is this new round of chemo works so he makes it to his 3rd birthday. That is this coming November. Stefano dipietrantonio, Eyewitness News.